Anti-Afro Svengalis, I wanted to make sure I brought to you a couple of illustrations on a point that was made more than once in these YouTube streets. Let's go back in time when the news media made it very clear that Carrie Ann Wilson has no business in a classroom. It was very clear. The teachers didn't want her there. The students didn't want her there. The parents didn't want her there. The principal didn't want her there. She put up this facade in one regard, but they already knew there were some serious problems because she talked about how she had to be pulled out of that school for psychiatric issues. So they already knew stuff was going on in one respect, but in a whole different respect, they had no idea that she was a raging bigot who attacked every single protected class under the sun. So you had Fub come up and do this, whatever he did with this fake YouTube page, specific to the media portion. There was disruption. And when I say disruption with the media portion, her name was omitted from the broadcast. Make no mistake about it. Everyone who needed to know knew exactly who was being talked about. It's important to keep in mind the community knows Carrie Ann Wilson did what she did. It's important that the community knows. The entire high school knows. The entire district knows. So whatever Carrie Ann tries to say to make it appear nobody knew it was her, we know it's bullshit. But here's what Carrie Ann said when we revisited our plans for the future. And we made it very clear. There was deliberate interference, and that won't happen the next time because there will be a next time. And Carrie Ann says, well, if the news puts my name out there, they're going to be sued. The news is going to be sued if they put her name out there and they tell the truth. Okay, so I want to show you a few examples of how the news is not going to get in trouble for speaking the truth about someone who's doing something they shouldn't be doing. How the news is not going to get in trouble for putting you on blast, for doing stuff you shouldn't be doing, and you actually did it. So just sit back and check out these few examples. Don't be thrown off that we are looking at a different industry. We're talking about the media and how they approach situations when issues need to be addressed. So keep that in mind. Scoot on over to Florida. And we travel to Dekalb County, Georgia. And I will return with more commentary.
I was wondering if I might be able to talk to you about a recent inspection.
No comment.
This Denny's employee didn't want to talk and immediately ordered us out.
Get that out of my face before I sue Channel 10. Get that out of my face before I sue Channel 10.
Does she have a right to sue Channel 10 because the camera is there asking about an inspection? Does Carrie Ann have the right to sue the news media because they show up and ask her about words that came out of her mouth? Or more specifically, broadcast her name on live television or on a news broadcast confirming that these words that they have specifically came out of her mouth? More to the story.
And at her request, we left, but she came out and followed us to our van.
I need you to leave my property.
We'll be happy to.
You don't
You're
need to
asking
be
us to
upset
leave
with
and
me.
we're leaving. I'm not upset with you at
but
all. You're upset
for you
with
to
me.
do that, I'm upset because you're being very rude by not respecting
Ma'am, you
my
asked
wishes.
us to leave and we're
It's out my
leaving.
face.
We thought that was it, but when we headed to the sidewalk to shoot some video, as we do in every Dirty Dining report, she came out again.
Get off my
property.
Get off what property? I'm on the
Get
public
off-
sidewalk.
All of this to this fence right here is my property.
I'm not on your property.
Sidewalk is the property.
Sidewalk is your
Stop recording.
property? I'm not stopping recording you. I'm on the public sidewalk. You asked us to leave. Why don't you just keep your restaurant clean and we wouldn't be here?
Her next move was to call the sheriff's office. Among the 12 violations recently found, live roaches at the cook line, under a cooler, by the manager's office.
There was more. So I know we're talking about a restaurant, but let's think about this. There was proof of this inspection failing. The restaurant was in the wrong. Carrie Ann was in the wrong. She's saying, I didn't do anything. I did nothing wrong. And guess what this manager says? Check this out.
You want to say anything about your roach issue?
I don't have a roach issue.
You did have a roach issue. You did have a roach issue. You were ordered shut by the state of Florida because your restaurant didn't meet standards.
I don't have roaches.
You did have roaches.
This chick right here don't have roaches.
She's saying they don't have roaches. Carrie Ann says she didn't do anything wrong. She made all those statements. 4 years worth of protected class attacks, violating code of conduct, violating the education code. All of those statements. And Carrie Ann says she did nothing wrong. This manager, and I only played a couple of lines of that inspection. If you want to hear the entire video, I'm going to post it below. Let me play more of what happened. It's just ridiculous.
She blocked us from talking to customers who were leaving.
Here we go again. For some odd reason, we got clips that Carrie Ann says we're not able to talk to students and parents. Well, it just so happens we have spoken to students and parents. Who the hell is Carrie Ann to tell people who we can speak to? Now, if you speak to a minor, you get the parent's permission. Who is Carrie Ann to say we can't speak to minors if the parents are anxious, willing, and ready and allow us to speak to minors? Just think you have control over what any and everybody is able to say and do. Just like this manager who's in the wrong, just like Carrie Ann is in the wrong. There is more.
And followed us even after we moved off of the sidewalk onto an adjacent business. We're not sure what she told sheriff's deputies since we complied with her request to leave.
I need both of you guys' information. Sure.
Eventually, sheriff's deputies wanted our information for a report. A report on what?
Okay, so I gotta ask, at any point did anybody touch anyone?
Touch anyone? Not quite.
Okay, so as far as calling the police, if somebody feels they need to call the police, call the police. Quite interesting, she has yet to call the police on Rev G, but she's running around here saying he's a danger to children. Call the police. We'd love for them to show up, and we'd love to speak to them. But here, the police wanted to know, did anybody touch anybody? Anybody put anybody in danger? No. But here we go. Whenever there are those who do not want to recognize what they have done has been a violation of whatever regulation they are supposed to be upholding, look how they act. But let's not forget what was supposed to go down to begin with. Carrie Ann, Billy Badass's wife. She's going to do what? She was going to sue the news. Let's chime back in and see how this particular reporter tends to take that type of threat when he's simply doing his job and reporting the truth.
Get that out of my face before I sue Channel 10.
As for that lawsuit, we'll keep you posted.
I got something else for you. It falls right in line with how Carrie Ann acts on YouTube. You've seen it here, but you've seen her escalate. And boy, oh boy, is she ever going to escalate right in line with what you're going to see. Now, interesting, we're traveling to Dekalb County, Georgia for this one. We're keeping it in the food industry. Keep in mind, it's not about the industry, it's about following regulations. It falls right in line with how Carrie Ann acts on YouTube. You've seen it here, but you've seen her escalate. And boy, oh boy, is she ever going to escalate right in line with what you're going to see. Now, interesting, we're traveling to Dekalb County, Georgia for this one. We're keeping it in the food industry. Keep in mind, it's not about the industry, it's about following regulations. Check this out.
Our news crew attacked at a popular diner in Metro Atlanta.
Our Adam Murphy showing up at this restaurant to ask about a failing health score, but instead of simply being turned away, things get violent.
You can get up and face.
Can we ask you, ma'am, about this? Expired deli meat stored in the cooler for customers? Were you serving expired deli meat? Ma'am, don't touch the camera.
Don't put the camera in my face.
Hey, we need to ask
you don't need
about
to be in
these
my face.
violations.
Call police.
It's not uncommon to get the cold shoulder when questioning a restaurant about a failing inspection. Denny's on Panola Road in Lithonia scored 52 points in a U for unsatisfactory. The health inspector busted them for expired deli meat, flying insects, and raw eggs on bacon and cheese. But these violations pale in comparison to this violation of civility.
You don't have to put the camera on nobody. Y'all can get out of here with that. Y'all can go ahead.
So we're not going to discuss it.
They're not supposed to be in the building.
So, whoa.
Get your hands off me. Get your hands off me.
Hey.
Get out.
Hey.
Bye.
The news is walked in.
Come on now. Guys.
Bye.
Wow.
Bye.
So this is how you
guys have no right.
So this is how you respond to violations.
Listen, I gotta say this though. Carrie Ann would not put her hands on a white man. In all honesty though, we're talking about somebody approaching her about something she knows she did that was wrong. So that's going to be an exception. I had to throw that one in. But look at the reaction. Knowing that you failed a health inspection and someone's coming to ask you about it. Knowing in Carrie Ann's circumstance, what she did was wrong. And she's already stated she's got guns and she'll use them. We already heard her screaming and hollering. And she's recently started issuing more threats on her channel. Let's see what else is happening in this particular situation.
It's not the treatment even a news crew would expect from a place that calls itself America's Diner. And here's one of their employees.
My son right here, if you film me with that camera, I'ma knock your ass out. And I promise you that my son right here, son, don't do that because I knock your ass out.
Hey, that's assault right there.
I don't give a my son right here, you.
Is that how you talk?
Joey.
Is that how you talk in front of your son?
How violent and out of control some subjects will get when they know they're busted. Now, we know Carrie Ann is a scammer and a thief. Check out what's in this person's arms. She's making off with a bottle of ketchup. Why is she taking a bottle of ketchup out of the restaurant? Losing total and complete control. Doesn't give a damn that there's a child, her child. And we know Carrie Ann doesn't give a damn about children either. She doesn't think that parents want their kids. Look how she treats those students when she was in a classroom. This is a perfect example. This is an epitome of someone just like Carrie Ann doesn't give a damn. And we do recall how she says she spent her time on YouTube while she was supposed to be teaching. And there is more.
If only their kitchen was as hot as the employees, perhaps none of this would have happened.
What's your business here?
You want to talk to us about
Do you
this
have
score?
rights to record us?
Yes, we do.
Why? What are your rights?
You have a failing health inspection.
Okay, we
You
know.
want to talk about the failing health
We know the
inspection?
failing health inspection is up.
Hey, that's assault. That's a charge. You don't care? We're not touching you.
Moments later, Dekalb County police showed up at Denny's, but not for their Grand Slam breakfast.
Y'all are good.
Officers confirmed we were well within our rights to question the restaurant, and we were not the ones in the wrong.
Okay, so the police confirmed that you can ask questions, you can inquire. This is the public has a right to know. While Denny's is a private entity, they are serving the public. The public has a right to know what is happening with the restaurant. It received an inspection. When restaurants receive inspections, those inspections are public domain. So what is the reason somebody wouldn't have a right, the media in particular, to ask questions, to show up, to have cameras? There's every right. Now, the media would not necessarily have the right to get the name of the workers because that's different. Now, these workers that are putting their hands on people, that's a totally different story. But you look at the school situation, absolutely, the public has a right to know who Carrie Ann is. Rogue public servant. Bashing, abusing, denigrating, vilifying, degrading every protected group. You're damn right. They have a right to know her name. And she says she's going to sue the news for reporting the news that she made. She's the one who created the situation. It is her fault, 100%. And the police have confirmed right there they're within their rights. And you better believe any educational entity would have to agree the same. I don't give a damn what Carrie Ann says, what she claims. There's so much shit going on in Georgia. Do not forget, there is a chain of command. The district is the lowest on the totem pole. There are so many problems in the state of Georgia with teachers. Who the hell is going to fall on the sword for Carrie Ann? Now, just a little bit more to go with this particular video. Remember, we are in Dekalb County. That's the school district where Carrie Ann was working.
I received a statement from Denny's corporate office regarding the incident. They said, quote, "We are disappointed by the inappropriate and unacceptable behavior by employees." They also said, quote, "We have spoken to the franchisee at this location and he has taken immediate action to ensure the restaurant meets our high brand standards and has taken appropriate action with employees." If you'd like to read the full statement, you can see it online. Go to the CBS 46 app. Adam Murphy, CBS 46 News.
Doesn't that sound familiar? Didn't the principal of Tucker High School also put out a statement? When you're doing wrong and you're misrepresenting an institution, the institution has a responsibility to the public to speak on it and to make sure they make a declaration they don't support or subscribe to the abhorrent conduct that the employee or former employee represented. I wanted to make sure you knew. And we'll re-emphasize over and over again, it is not illegal for the news media to give Carrie Ann's name, first and last name. I want to make it very clear, the only reason why her name was not spoken on the media is because FUB took a picture of Tucker High School students and made a fake YouTube channel and said it was Carrie Ann's channel. He did that. It had nothing to do with us. And to emphasize that breaking the culture of silence had on tap students and parents who are prepared to be interviewed on TV. Nothing illegal. She has a right to ask students questions and parents questions as long as the parents gave permission, and they did just that. But we backed off. We backed off because of the disruption. Gerald also had something set up. We were the ones who retreated because FUB interfered. But that does not mean that's over. It's not over. We are going to go round two. And we're going round two because Carrie Ann doesn't know how to keep her damn mouth shut. We're going round two because we made it very clear from the outset when Carrie Ann leveled these false allegations that she wasn't going to get away with it. We made it very clear the crap that was coming out of her mouth is going to follow her wherever she goes. I don't give a damn what the union says. She's talking union. I could tell by the way she's talking. I know people who work for unions. This is all union talk. The union does what the union does, but the union is not more powerful than the governor of Georgia. And there are many steps before the governor of Georgia. Her name, first and last name, will be spoken by the news media. That you can count on. Listen, folks, you know I got more coming your way. In the meantime, you know the drill. Buyer beware.